Football is never just about what happens on the pitch. Sometimes, the biggest stories are the ones that haven't happened yet. Right now, something is quietly building behind the scenes, a chain reaction that could reshape Liverpool, Chelsea, and even the transfer market itself. And at the center of it all, is one name. Xabi Alonso. Before we go deeper into this unfolding story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because on this channel, we don't just report football, we break down the stories behind the stories. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. There's growing talk across multiple outlets that Xabi Alonso is being lined up as a potential future manager for Liverpool. Nothing official. No confirmation. But the idea refuses to go away. And when a rumor refuses to die in football, it usually means something is happening behind the scenes. Arne Slot is still in charge. That hasn't changed. But what has changed is the conversation. The silence around long-term plans, the uncertainty about the direction of the club, and the increasing belief that Liverpool may eventually look for a manager who represents both identity and evolution. And that's where Alonso fits perfectly. A former player. A tactical mind. Someone who understands the culture of the club. It almost feels too perfect, and that's exactly why fans are starting to believe it. But Liverpool aren't the only ones watching. Because while some clubs hesitate, others move. Chelsea have also entered the conversation, and not quietly. Reports suggest Alonso is one of multiple names being seriously considered as part of Chelsea's long-term managerial plans. But here's the twist, he's not the only option. Other names are also being mentioned behind the scenes. Managers with different styles, different philosophies, all being evaluated as Chelsea look for stability after years of inconsistency. And that tells you everything you need to know. This isn't just speculation, this is a club actively exploring its future. So now the situation becomes a race without officially being called one. Liverpool are watching. Chelsea are assessing. And Alonso is at the center of both conversations. And when two major clubs start circling the same figure, things tend to escalate very quickly. But the story doesn't end there. Because while the focus is on managers, there's also movement in the player market, and one name keeps resurfacing. Anthony Gordon transfer is a link that has appeared, disappeared, and then reappeared again. At one point, it looked like Liverpool were genuinely close to making a move. Talks were rumored. Interest was strong. But for one reason or another, it didn't happen. Or at least, not yet. Because now, the conversation is back. Some reports suggest Liverpool could reignite their interest, especially if there are changes in their attacking structure. Others claim the club has already moved on, shifting focus to different targets. And then there are voices saying the situation depends entirely on future managerial decisions. And that's where everything connects. Because if a manager like Alonso comes in, the entire transfer strategy could change overnight. Different system. Different player profiles. Different priorities. Suddenly, a player like Gordon isn't just a rumor again, he becomes part of a bigger plan. At the same time, Newcastle are in no rush to let him go. His value is high, his importance to the squad is clear, and any deal would have to make sense financially, which only adds another layer to the uncertainty. So now, what we're looking at isn't just random speculation. It's a network of possibilities. If Chelsea move first, they could secure Alonso and completely change their trajectory. If Liverpool act, it could signal the beginning of a new era at Anfield. And if either of those things happen, the transfer market, especially deals like Gordon's, could shift instantly. This is how modern football works. Not in isolated moves, but in connected decisions. And right now, all the pieces are quietly falling into place. Nothing is confirmed. Nothing is official. But the pattern is there. And in football, patterns often tell the story before the headlines do. So the real question isn't whether these rumors are true, it's which one becomes real first. Because when it does, everything else will follow.